Hello.
Hello.
Hello. This is the podcast. We're all psychic. And as we've told you before, we are a very, very serious podcast.
Very.
How?
Except when we're not.
Except when we're drinking the juice of life. And today we have a guest, Donna, who's been here a million times. And for the millionth to the infinite degree time, do you still think we're all psychic?
I absolutely think we are all psychic.
I'm so glad. And Misty, you too. Still, Misty's back for this episode.
Yes.
You missed the last one. She's here. She's not well. She's well. She is well. And Misty and I are actually indulging in the high life tonight. And not the Miller high life, but our own kind of high life. I've got this kind. We both kind of have trippy little containers.
Yeah, very cosmic.
Yours
is cosmic trucker.
And it's have a good day.
Congratulations. Good work.
Yeah, we got some cheer going on here. So, and you know what? I couldn't have asked for better people to do this kind of podcast. You know, listeners and watchers, this is a video podcast on Spotify. Donna has the best thing to talk about, I think, that I've heard like in the last 3 lifetimes.
Only the last 3?
Oh, wait. But no pressure.
Yeah, the pressure's not on or anything. Don't feel like that.
Serious podcast. She said to me, she's talking
water.
about, she said to me, she loved to talk about how, you know, when we're asking for help from our guides and our angels or whatever we ask for help from, like sometimes it doesn't come as we expect and different ways to expect and how to calm ourselves down when we're in a high stress situation and be able to get that help from our guides and angels and hear it or receive it and know to ask, stuff like that. And where would you like to start with this? Because I love this topic idea. I think it's amazing. Because like when I think about that, I think about what I was just telling you in my first times with Sheila's group. For me, you said some people do take a more intellectual approach to trying to figure out how to work with angels in particular. With spirit guides, it was not the same. But with angels, I was in Sheila's group and all these people kept having, I had healing experiences that I couldn't explain. I'd have a cold and Sheila would send me healing. And then like over the course of the 20 seconds, she was sending it through. She'd write sending in Facebook Messenger. And about 30 seconds later, she'd write sent. And I would feel everything change. One time my butthole closed because I had diarrhea and I was doing an Ask Morgana live session on her page.
Oh my.
Where people were asking Morgana questions and I had diarrhea all of a sudden. I talked about this on her podcast like 3 years ago.
Oh my God.
And I said, Sheila, what do I do about this? She's like, I don't know if they'll do that, but let's find out.
Yeah.
And she did say sending and I felt my butthole close. I felt it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a first on the podcast.
My angel
felt her butthole closed.
Angel closed my butthole.
From the angels.
Angels.
Wow.
Hey, you get what you need.
Expectations.
Yeah.
You just shouldn't have any.
You get what you need.
This is a new one. Yes.
That's a new one. So, I mean, you just don't know what they're capable of or what they're possibly going to do for you. And the first time I actually asked by myself for help from an angel, I got it. And I was really surprised. It wasn't a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it was something, I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like, please let me find my keys. Something like that. It was just something very simple.
I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I found my keys and I felt this presence. It was, I would call it Raphael now. It was like a greenish presence. And I associate green with Raphael, the angel, archangel. If you're listeners, if you're new to angels, there's all kinds of things about angels to know. But, you know, I guess a lot of people see them different ways, but I connect with them through the archangel names and the colors. So I would say all green angels are Archangel Raphael, kind of. Right? Kind of. I don't know. I kind of really don't know. I need an angel expert. But I know that I asked and this green came in and I just, in my mind's eye, you know, but with the very first time I saw an angel, it was, I would call it Uriel. It was that golden color that most people would associate with.
I would say golden. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like a halo across right in front of my TV. But I said, can I please see an angel? and you know, my expectation, it wasn't an angel. It was just, it was in my mind's eye. And I saw, but it was more in my vision too than most spirit guides would be, though. It was kind of in my vision too. And it was an oval, goldish pinkish kind of color, and it had shine like rays coming out of it, but it wasn't like a holy card or anything, or like fancy rays. They were just kind of glowing off the edges, and I felt its presence loving me, and it became really clear to me that angels are its. Like, I can't explain that. They're its, and that they
he or she
say that.
Yeah.
But if I'm talking about an angel to somebody, an archangel by name, I will say he or she or something. But that, like you heard it just came out and that's what it felt like at the time. So, I mean, and another experience with Archangel Ariel, which I'll speak about soon, but that these things came through totally unexpectedly the way I thought they would. Like, I thought I'd see wings and halo, but this was just like glowing, and the feeling was more than any of it. It was like, that was the biggest thing. The feeling angel gave me of love.
Yeah, that's the best.
Yeah.
That's what I found. I usually work with my angels through meditation. That's when I work with mine, and I work with them a lot through meditation.
Like, what kind of meditations do you do?
Well, I just get in my relaxed meditative state, and I just close my eyes and I take my deep breaths, and I just go into my meditation like that. And I can go in real fast. It usually takes people longer, but I can.
Yeah, I go in pretty fast too. You've been practicing a lot. You didn't used to, Misty. You didn't used to. It took you a little while. You couldn't.
Yeah, but now
you're like
zooming in.
It's a practice.
It is practice. It really makes a difference.
I've learned to ask them. You were talking about the little things. Like, I would ask for the simplest things, that might not mean anything to anybody else, but they meant something special to me. Or I lost something, like you said, like the keys. They would always help. And it never fails. I always got some kind of reply. So far,
that is so true. There's always a reply.
Yes.
Yeah. And even if it's a no.
And often if it's a no, it really is because there is something else or something better.
There's a better outcome if you
there's a better outcome than the one that we're focused on, because sometimes the one we're focused on is really as expanded as our vision and our intuition and our knowing can be. It's still very limited compared to all of what's out there in the universe.
Right.
And so we still only see a sliver. And often when we're wanting, then we're very narrowly focused. And we don't even really realize what other possibilities there might be, or even sometimes our approach is, I don't even care what the other possibilities are. This is the thing I want.
Yeah.
And we don't know, but we don't know that is, in service to our highest good, that it will serve our true happiness. And I think we've been conditioned a lot to believe that getting something that's better for us somehow has to be like nasty medicine.
Yeah.
Like
it's going to be unpleasant.
Medicine is the venom. Like convert the venom into the medicine kind of thing. Yeah.
And it really doesn't have to be that way. That's a belief, whether that's cultural, societal, familial, however it came to us or comes to us. It's a belief, but it's not necessarily.
It's an expectation.
And it's an expectation, but it's not objectively true. And we can change our expectations.
Oh, yes, we can.
So, Donna, what's your experience?
We can do it a lot.
Well, so for me, I actually come a little late to the party on this. I've had more experience up until recently with spirit guides rather than angels. It was just something I just didn't know a lot about.
Right.
And I've been talking about, and probably will talk about more than once tonight. I truly feel I actually just took recently a course with a lovely woman named Sonia Choquette. She is considered one of the experts in this field. I really enjoyed the course. I really enjoy her. I love her energy. She has basically lived this her whole life.
Yeah.
And she teaches it. Because she grew up in a family, in a household where it was very much a part of her mother's and her family's kind of.
She's been like, it's normalized for her to have the angels in her life already.
Absolutely.
Wow.
So she comes at it from a very holistic approach, but also very, very natural approach because for her, it is natural. This has been something that's been a part of her whole life. And she's been teaching it for a lot of years too. But so, yeah, anybody who's looking for a place to start, and she's by no means the only person out there at all, but she's excellent. And it's a great place to kind of enter that world and begin to explore this.
That's really cool.
My experiences have been different than I expected. And so I guess that was probably the biggest thing. I think sometimes, like you were explaining when you said, when you requested, well, can I see an angel? We, again, already have in our mind a lot of times an image of what that would look like or what it would look like. And that's not what you saw, but you did see something that was absolutely that way at that time of that angel manifesting for you in a way you could recognize.
And feel. It was me.
And feel.
I comprehend because I'd never really, I wasn't really there all the way with the belief, that.
Is that really going to happen? Yeah.
After that, I was sure, but I mean, and then one other thing happened, and I never went back from any doubts on it. I mean, angel saves my entire house and life. I think you don't forget that,
Yeah, absolutely.
And I felt it, and I felt what it was doing. I have a blacked out period, and it was all very strange thing. But I knew in that blacked out period, all this information went through. About this angel, about what's going on. And it just went out. And I can't remember. And then the lights all like flickered. And then one light blew. And then they stopped the house from blowing. Or it.
Yeah.
It did. Yeah, it was a weird thing. But I felt Ariel. And I got the name Arael, pronounced Ariel. I got the information that they all pronounce their names that way. Pronouncing it like Azazel, isn't that that's a demon though, I think, right? Azazel, or they all pronounce their names a certain way, and I'm not really good on that right now with this like cosmic trucker kind of kicking my not so angelic booty.
Your cosmic butt.
And angels probably don't care if you have a beer unless it's hurting you, the people. Angels aren't to judge you, as far as I know.
No,
right?
They're not.
Something I expected a lot was for them to have a voice, like for me to have to speak a certain way to them. Like, hello, dear angels of God. Hi, I'm praying to you. I felt like I had to have a ritual or like a prayer or something.
You certainly can.
You can.
You can take a more formal approach.
Yeah.
You're not required to take a formal approach.
They're yours.
I think to your point and to Misty's, the idea of more than anything, the feeling, right? The experience of what you feel more than what you see or hear or, all of the rest.
Misty, you're breaking up on us. You're frozen. And it was weird because she was saying that stuff, but she was just frozen. Oh, there you are. You're back. Okay. Misty is back. Hi, Misty. Are you back?
I didn't know I was gone.
You are kind of in a time warp right now, but you're getting there. Left you down.
It's the angels.
I've sung that way too many times on this podcast. There she goes. She's dancing to it.
Keep going.
I'm not going to get up and step to the left.
I'm just going to watch her.
Right.
She's very entertaining to watch dance. She's a dancer too, and so am I. She's fun to be a dancing partner with too. But back to angels and what you can expect. I mean, I bet, like we had talked about before the podcast, I liked what we were talking about, right? We talked about it. We kind of touched on it for a minute already during the podcast. But when we ask for help and we have an expectation of what it's going to show up as, and it doesn't, but how do we recognize it? That's what you brought up before the podcast, ways to recognize. How do we notice when the signs are there for us and we think they're not, or we think it might be? How can we be? Well, you're pretty dang well know.
Yeah.
How can you notice if you're not noticing the signs?
One thing, and
how do you know? No.
Yeah.
How do you know? No.
Well, and the thing is, I feel like we were talking about being almost too focused on only one answer or thinking there's only one right answer. It's the answer that we want right in that moment. Well, we're human, and that's that's a function of the ego. Ego.
We can't think outside of the many perspectives angels can. Yeah, they can.
Exactly.
We
So
can. I'm not.
a lot of times the best thing to really do is, I guess I would look at expectation this way. Certainly there's what you're asking for, but the main thing, and I'll start with something really very material and mundane, but really important, like the keys, right?
Yeah.
Well, you know that finding your keys is really important in that moment, and they have to be your keys. If you find someone else's keys, not necessarily going to be of any use. So those are very immediate, very straightforward. You know what you need. Only one thing, quite honestly, can fill that need.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be keys and they've got to be yours. So that's fine. You know, again, there's nothing wrong with that, because that's very immediate and very much applicable to only one situation, right?
Yeah, it's practical.
But there, yeah, and it's entirely practical, really practical.
That's all it is. No spiritual
and a real,
to it. Well, unless you're going to church.
And a real pain in the ass if you don't have them.
I know. Yes.
A real problem if you don't have them. So there, I would say, yes, being very specific. Please help me find my keys. I really need to find my keys.
Yeah.
I guess there's not a lot of room for expansion.
Yeah.
No, and there is. Wait, hang on. I got one.
Okay.
You can't find the keys, and you're not going to find the keys until the next day, because that's going to cause you to get in a car wreck, and the angels know that, and they don't want you driving.
And you get delayed.
10 minutes.
Yeah. You might get delayed for 10 minutes. Yeah. 10 minutes or a day. They do turn up, but it kept you maybe from doing something or going somewhere where you really
and you
could have been in trouble.
Probably won't ever know that, but they do.
Right. And so if it takes a little while and you don't find your keys in 5 minutes, but you find them in 2 hours, or you find them the next day, your request has still been granted. Your prayer, if you will, has been answered.
Yes.
In the best way possible for your highest good.
Right.
Yes.
And we will not often know what we avoided unless there was some, my God, horrific accident or something that was all over the news.
Or an airplane or something. Yeah.
Or you missed a flight because of it. And
you hear those stories. I just had a bad feeling. And then I was late too.
Yeah.
And then, you hear those stories.
Yeah.
Almost every flight that crashes, there's somebody who didn't make it.
Who didn't get on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is the reason why I couldn't find my keys.
Couldn't find my keys, couldn't get to the airport, missed my flight.
Yeah.
So there's those, the ones that are a little more nuanced. And I've had this experience with looking for some I'll just say like kind of gig work. Okay. Mm-hmm. On the one hand, I was very, very interested in a certain position, really excited, really pumped, really wanted it, raring to go, do everything. As far as I know, I haven't gotten a no, but I haven't gotten anything. I'm getting crickets, right? So I'm like, okay, fine. Alrighty then. So in my process, because again, this isn't immediate. It's like, okay, so I asked. I will always ask and try to remember that when I'm asking, whether I'm doing affirmations, manifesting, or asking my angels for help, for my guides.
Highest and greatest good. Is that where you're getting at?
Highest and greatest good. This or something better.
Yes.
I'm allowing in my mind for the idea that this may not be the be all and end all that I think it is. And in the meantime, what I found, without knowing prior to this one, which was kind of the only one I sort of knew about, and the only, because it's an area that's not, it's exploding right now, but it's not all that well known out there yet.
Right.
I'm like, maybe this is the only company that does this, or maybe there's only 2 companies that do this. No, there's like 10 or 15 companies that do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes the discovery process, you have to take some action. I did some hunting.
You do.
Right? I started to do some hunting. But I'm like, oh yeah, look at that one. Oh yeah, look at that one. Okay, that one, that looks interesting. So it is a process. And have I gotten the immediate gratification that I was hoping for? Well, no. And that's all right. I'm okay with that. But am I getting somewhere? Yes. And I think that part of getting somewhere is being willing, I'm going to say being willing to both take some action and be led.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or to see that what I'm exploring is going to lead me where I want to go.
And it might be something better.
That's
Much
what she
better.
said.
Yes.
My highest and greatest good or better.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful. I never thought
absolutely.
to add or better.
One thing, yeah, this or something even better is great. That's an old manifesting technique,
Okay.
because again, especially when we want a certain thing,
Yeah,
a certain job, a certain person, a certain circumstance. It's okay to want, again, it's all okay. Our wants are okay. It's allowing that space for what we don't know or can't even, at least at the moment, conceive of, that gives everything in the universe, including our angels and guides, some elbow room to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you were talking about faith as well. We talked a little bit before you came in, Misty. We were talking about faith, and I was saying that for me, the practical thing with the keys, for example, it wasn't like with angels, with guides, it was a different experience. I didn't know what they were. And then when I found spirit guide term, it still took a good, I was like, yeah, that's it right away. But still, I had to now backed off a little bit. Like, wait, is this real? Really? That kind of thing was still going on in my 20s, when I found that term. And angels, spirit guides, I just talk to them. I don't ask them for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I ask them for like help for my clients, or ask them help with, like, what do I do about this? What's your opinion?
Mm-hmm.
Ask for their opinions, and they always give me like really great answers or good feeling answers, emotionally connecting and stuff like that. And angels, on the other hand, I did expect them to be more ethereal and they are otherworldly, if anything. That's the only way that's the best word for me, otherworldly. It isn't ethereal, maybe it is, but I mean the singing, I've heard the singing in my under anesthesia and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the choirs, and I'm talking about, have either of you had that happen under anesthesia or something? Here's the singing or the symphonies of heaven. I don't know if it's heaven or whatever it is, but it sounds like a million voices singing, or like orchestra, for like these huge orchestras filling the room, and just
like thousands
consciousness playing like the Debussy or something. And the angels sing that way too when I hear them on in certain circumstances. I mean, I can even be in a headspace that I need, that can get me like mania.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not, when my medication's not working or something like that, and I get manic, I definitely will hear that stuff. It's kind of weird, that anesthesia when you're completely out coming to, and then mania, maybe it's kind of a similar state with the gamma waves, who knows? But I would hear that, and it was never ethereal. It was just like this stream of consciousness kind of going all over the place, music, but it all went together,
Mm-hmm.
And I can't explain what that is. I was hearing it, but I was a part of writing it, but I wasn't. It was like we were all of everything was writing this music. It's hard to explain. And it was just being written in the moment as each moment passed.
That's cool.
Yeah. And that was probably my first experience, like, thinking, was that angels? Choir of angels, something like that. But I've only heard it at those times.
Mm-hmm.
But in real life, angels, they can laugh. They can be, like my guardian angel. When I actually met my guardian angel one day, and she told me her name. I call her a she, though. She feels like a she to me.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why. But she told me her name. It was so much love. I mean, when I realized it was her, I felt so much love and who she was and what it was. I was just working. I was logged into Everclear, our sponsor. Yes. I was logged in, waiting for any kind of client who might want my services, and phone call or chat. And she just appeared and just knew, and other things happened. That was a weird day, Misty. That was the day I saw that picture of Morgana on my phone and saw all that stuff.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of weird drop in information came that day, and it was just really crazy. And I think it was from her. She wanted me to kind of have, what do they call it? In sometimes people call it they say you get downloads, and sometimes they say you get like you're like on the fast track all of a sudden. They just throw it all at you. And then you got to sort through it for a few years, you know. It's kind of like that, yeah. But the guardian angel thing really blew my mind.
Well, and from what I have come to understand and what makes the most sense to me, and again, I'm not going to debate if somebody else has a different understanding or experience.
Oh, totally, yeah, right.
But my understanding is that angels are not human and never have been.
That's what I kept saying.
An angel is a different entity.
Yes, they're not human. That's what I feel.
They're not human, and they never have been.
It doesn't feel like they are.
There's one that has been. I can't remember.
Well, they can take human form if and when they choose to and need to.
Right.
Okay.
They can.
But they've never been. Yeah, but they've never been like a human. Like I die tomorrow.
They have a soul, human soul. Say.
Yeah, I don't die. If I die tomorrow, I don't become an angel.
There is one angel they have said that was human. One.
Okay, well they they do and can take human form.
But the essence of their soul is like made of different stuff.
They're a different entity. Yeah, they are a different entity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that they can not only take human form at times by their choice, not by ours, but by theirs.
Yes.
But they can also operate through other humans. So
I
for
love
example,
it when that happens.
Yeah.
Have you had that happen?
Yes, absolutely.
What happened? Tell me.
I was this was actually a number of years ago. I used to work in downtown Chicago. I used to take the train, the L, to and from work every day. It was one of those spring days where it's early spring, but it gets really, really hot.
Yeah.
I'm on the L train. It's a new L train, new being a relative term in Chicago, and is supposed to be air conditioned. And maybe in July it would have been, but it wasn't in March or April, whatever.
Right.
So the windows don't open, and it's hot, and it's packed. But little by little, as I'm getting closer and closer to home, the train is emptying out. But I was standing because there were no seats when I got on. And I continued to stand because I was only a couple of stops from home. So I thought, well, okay, I'm fine, right? Well, except that I really wasn't fine. I had PMS, and I had at the time, because now there's no more PMS because there's no more MS.
Yes.
Yes. But I had a tendency to get faint or lightheaded.
Yeah.
So I'm standing there, and all of a sudden, and this happened really quickly. It happened much more quickly than the time it takes me to tell it. But all of a sudden, like everything goes black, right? You know, I get first it looks like static, you know, like visual static.
It starts to come in and
like on a TV, and then it goes black. And the next thing I know, I feel somebody grab me and put me down in a seat, sit me down in a seat. And she's like, "Are you okay? Are you stuck? Like, are you still with me? Are you, you know?" And she goes, put your head down. She kept me from falling on my face in a dead faint on the L. And had that, and the car.
Nobody does that on a subway. They don't.
And the car was nearly empty at that time. So had she not been there, I not only would have fallen on my face, I would have stayed there until I came to, because there wouldn't
have been anybody about to die or something, like broke your neck going down or something.
God only knows, or broken something. Yeah. I mean, or broken something. I mean, anything bad could have happened from anything. Really bad could have happened from that point forward. And she's like, put your head down. So I had my head down, on my knees. And she's like, "Are you all right? Are you going to be okay?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "It's for one thing, it's really, really hot in here." And she said, "Yeah, I know." And I said, "Thank you so much." And she said, "Fine, no problem." And I was still like a little bit woozy. So, she's like, "Just go ahead and keep your head down." She said, how many, are you nearly home? I said, "Yeah, I'll be home in another stop or two." And I kept my head down, and I went to I started feeling better, went to pick my head up to say thank you. I swear to God, the train hadn't stopped at another station, at another stop, and she was gone.
I love it.
She was just
I love
gone.
it.
Do you remember what she
Yes.
looked like or how she felt or anything? Because you had your
Only the feeling. Yeah. Only the feeling of her being so kind and so caring and doing that for me. And then just being really sweet and nice and
That's
keeping
awesome.
something bad from happening to me. And I know, I mean, she may not have been my guardian angel, but were my angels or was my guardian angel looking out for me and putting her in my
situation
in my life? Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing story. I love that story.
Yeah.
That's just great.
Yeah, don't remember what she looked like or anything, but boy, she really saved me.
You'll never forget her. Yeah.
No.
There are a lot of angels in disguise, I think.
Yes.
All over the place.
Yes.
I think so too.
Sometimes I think like angels can be little like elemental spirits too. Maybe not angels, but elemental spirits can come and help. Like fairy type spirits or elementals, I call them usually. Like a cat is an elemental to me, Yeah. And they come and help us. So like even if they're not our cat, it can be like we're walking down a street, we're lost. I was walking down a street and I was lost one day and in the middle of the night at 2 after a bad night. I was trying to get away from everything. And I was downtown and it is a long time ago in Decatur. And I lost and this white fox jumped out. There's no white foxes in Decatur. And this white fox jumped out in front of me. And I'm like,
where'd you come
and it
from?
went down a little ways and it looked like this over her shoulder at me and then jumped back into the bushes. It was right next to a church. Of course, everything's right next to a church in Decatur, Alabama. But I was just like, white fox! I'm all the white fox.
Hey, what did it say? What did it say?
Where did it come from? What?
What did it say?
It didn't say anything, but when I looked where it jumped, it wasn't there anymore. What?
What does the fox say?
I don't know. Nah. Getting jiggy with it. That's what it sounded like you were saying.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
So I just think, again, I think experiences like that happen to people all the time. And I think, again, our ego kicks in right away. I don't mean ego in a bad way. It's just our ego is our rational mind and it wants to make sense of everything. It wants to analyze. It wants to study.
What our rational mind has been taught to be, I would like to interject. I really think our culture teaches our analytical mind how to behave a lot. In schools and stuff, we can't talk about any kind of emotional things in our classes.
Well, there's
no class just to talk about your family life and just learn about that dynamic.
Well, that's true. But
or what you're going to do when you get out of school? What are your decisions? What if you do this and that? And
I think what happens though is not that I think our rational mind has that function. That's what it's built to do.
Yeah.
I think the problem societally is that we are not often permitted to do anything else.
Well, yes.
To operate from any other place besides our rational mind.
You're right.
And again, our rational mind is not a bad thing. We need it.
But the problem is that the men are the ones who say that the most, and the men are the ones in power, and the women who have the emotions are just told we're crazy or too emotional or we're making stuff up. And because we're emotional, a lot of times when they're arguing with us, because they are using their analytical minds and they're putting us in our places, because that's how a lot of men in the South anyway think. And I'm just interjecting this little point here to kind of pimp a show we have coming up.
Well, certainly anytime we're operating from only one place, I think that we're kind of missing a lot of depth and breadth. And so being able to honor and give voice to or give space for all the different ways that we either experience life, process information, all those things. To me, the more cohesive that is with all sort of the different aspects and different parts of us, the better I think that we function. But yeah, it's true that if you've been conditioned or, been made to believe that operating from your rational mind is truly the only way to be, or the best.
I was taught the best. And
that's
better be the only, because
yeah.
if you show any of this other stuff to people, I mean, not just family, but this is culture, right, Misty? Could women have emotional displays and actually have anything change
No.
in our culture in Alabama? No. No. We get slapped or yelled at.
Yeah.
I mean, not just in Alabama, but that's everywhere. Well, a lot of times that, and men get slapped and yelled at too. But I'm just saying, I think that another misconception with angels that I know of is like religious connotations. There's people are set with whatever they were taught angels were. And if they had it in their
if they had it in their religious background.
If they had it in their religious upbringing.
But often if they did, it's a very narrowly defined
it's defined.
This is what they look like, this is how they act, this is what they do.
What they do and why they're here.
Was either. You're supposed to ask God for things, not the angels. So, that's something different.
I've never heard that. I in Catholicism, you ask everybody, saints mainly.
No, in some religions, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're supposed to go to God. Yeah,
yeah. Your only tunnel is through God and God alone. But what I'm saying is, you can ask angels too.
Yeah, there's so many. I mean, I don't know. Did you find that in Catholicism? You were raised Catholic, right, Donna? And Misty was raised Southern Baptist or mainly Lutheran. I knew that.
Yeah, and we were sort of. I mean, it was you could.
Yeah. You could do whatever.
You could pray to the angels. I mean, certainly, or pray for angelic assistance.
There you go.
But between the saints and the angels and it was a lot.
Guardian angels and ancestors.
Yeah, the guardian angel. Yeah, ancestors not so much.
Oh, ours would let us pray to our ancestors. Well, we had to pray them out of purgatory first, and then when
first you had to set them free. And then
when I was a kid, I believed that so hardcore that I was before people were dead, I was saying prayers for them so they'd have some saved up in purgatory.
I wouldn't have to stay so long.
I did agree to pray for them. She's not dead yet, but she can have 500 prayers waiting for her to get out.
Lord, she's been bad this year.
9,900.
Lord, help her.
We'll do 2 rosaries for her.
Yeah, really.
You're talking about me.
I don't know if there's enough. For me, I don't know if there's enough rosaries. But
how would you like to wrap this up, Donna? It's kind of like a really great. We could talk about this for hours. I suppose.
Oh, absolutely.
Like we should have a part 2 or something. I think.
Yeah, it's a fascinating subject.
You want to do a part 2?
Sure. It's a wonderful experience for anybody who hasn't, started down this road or is interested at all in starting down this road. It's a fascinating experience. It brings a dimension. It brings an additional dimension into your life experience.
It does.
And I actually think I may just close. And actually, this was a quote. By Sonia Choquette, who's actually quoting, I believe, Albert Einstein, who said you can live life as though nothing is a miracle, or you can live life as though everything.
And that's how I like to live.
And I would much rather look at everything. Yes.
I can't say I do it, but I would like to try to.
I don't always do it myself, but you know what? It's a nice thing to keep in mind.
To keep trying to aim for. That's beautiful. There's always be happy that way, wouldn't you? Everything be so and fun.
This is a very peaceful process. And it brings a lot of peace and a lot of peace of mind because of what it does as far as expanding your perspective on what's possible.
Yeah.
And as far as expanding on your perspective of being connected in ways that maybe you hadn't thought about, or maybe you have thought about, but there's
maybe like something like connected in a way you just can't imagine at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You had not thought about, but something that blows your mind and opens your heart wide open, and it changes your life. It can be like that. It has been for me sometimes.
Lots of love.
Lots of love. And lastly, Donna, where can the listeners and watchers find you?
You can find me on Everclear, where I am Maria M. And I do not know my phone number there.
I got all her info. I'll put it in the description. And I'm Lisa P. And I'm also on Everclear.
Yes.
And Everclear is our sponsor. Everclear is an advice app where you can get advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve.
You deserve it.
You deserve it. You do.
And since we were talking about love, Lots of love.
Love Everclear. Love
Lots of love.
Misty. Love Donna. Love
Love to all.
listeners. Love watchers. Listeners, we're all making little hearts with our hands.
Yes, we are. We're making little hearts with our hands if you're not watching the video.
Listeners, you have to listen and imagine like an angel.
Yes. All right, guys.
Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you so much, Misty. Thank you so much, Everclear. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's always my pleasure.
I love having you. We're doing a
Lisa.
part 2, so this will be a part 1, and we're going to talk about this some more. Thank you, Misty, again, and Donna. Love you guys.
Yeah,
Love
take
you.
care, sweetie.
And
Love you,
everybody,
listeners.
have a great
Let's
time
go.
wherever you are, and peace out.
Bye.
Bye.